What is happening, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ty, behind the camera, and sitting in front of us is the refreshed 2024 Audi Q8. Now this is a pretty nicely loaded up Premium Plus trim with the black optic package, Executive, and S-Line style package. So we have a nicely optioned one to take a look at. It's finished in satellite silver and has the black leather interior. So a very nicely optioned one to check out today. Now what we're going to be doing throughout this video is checking out all the features both on the exterior, under the hood, under the trunk, in the rear seats, and in the front seats. We're going to kind of detail all the features in between. Now, if you're interested to see how this Q8 drives, we're going to have a dedicated test drive video on this very Q8. So you can either wait till the end of this video and there will be a link right over here for that, or you can just head over to my channel now to check that one out. But let's get straight into it here with the details of the exterior. We're going to start with the headlamps, which of course comes standard with LED bulbs. So we have LED high and low beams, LED daytime ring lights, and turn signals. Look very nice, all illuminated. And as you can see, most of the updates on the updated Q8 are on the exterior. So we have a totally new front end with all these glossy black elements, and this kind of extends all the way into the headlights, which gives it a pretty cool appearance. We have headlight washers, parking sensors that span the front bumper, and then we also have the new updated Audi rings up front and a little camera down below for the 360 and 3D camera system this vehicle has. Now there are a couple of updates on the interior too, which we will check out. And the hood is nice, long, sloping, and it's got some pretty prominent creases in it. New wheels too for this year, so we have these beautiful 22-inch wheels that come along with the black optic package. So we have the machined face of the wheel and some really nice metallic gray inserts. Pretty large brake calipers too, so we have 6 piston brakes up front, and our tires measure 285/40, so pretty large tires. We have some more black optic elements towards the bottom with the rocker panel covers, and also all around the windows, so that the windows are all surrounded in glossy black, and also the side rails too are a flat black material. Now the mirrors have lots of functionalities to them. They are heated, power folding, and they also have blind spot warning and LED turn signal indicators. And one more feature they have is the cameras for both sides for that 360 view. Now, the Q8 does have smart key entry on all 4 door handles. We have the little touch sensitive pad right here for the lock, and then you just put your hand behind the handle to unlock. And a pretty cool new feature too is it does show you kind of what model you have here on the B pillar. Quick glance at the window sticker shows we have a just under $85,000 sticker price and a couple of pretty cool packages. Not too bad fuel economy either for the size of this vehicle, and very safe with 5 stars in almost every crash rating. Some very nice looking lines on this vehicle too. Very nice shadow lines right underneath the window sills, and another one that starts in the quarter panel and goes into the door. So very attractive looking exterior. On the rear too, we have a pretty similar design to the pre-facelift model, but this one is a little bit more updated. So you still have the full light bar and full LED taillights. So take a look at them when they're illuminated. It looks pretty cool. So we have LED turn signals, brake lights, and taillights. It's all LEDs back here. Pretty cool looking Q8 badge with the little Audi Sport emblem right there. And down below, again, we have parking sensors in the rear and real exhaust tips. As you can see in there, real exhaust tips, no longer fake exhaust tips on the newer Audis. Our updated rings right here, and we have our trunk release and reversing camera. And I want to give a huge thanks to the guys at Valenti Audi in Watertown, Connecticut for providing me with this Q8 today. Huge thanks to them. And we'll round out the exterior with, I want to hear your guys' thoughts. What do we think of the refreshed Q8 styling-wise? Let me know in the comments. All right, so popping the hood of the Q8 reveals a 3-liter turbocharged V6 with a mild hybrid setup, and it's good for 335 horsepower, 369 pound-feet of torque. Everything's hooked up to a conventional 8-speed torque converter transmission. And of course, quattro all-wheel drive is standard. So that is the basic engine for the Q8. Now, a little bit of knowledge. Q7 and Q8 are very closely related vehicles, but the Q7 actually comes standard with a turbocharged 4-cylinder. The Q8 comes standard with the latter, the turbocharged 6-cylinder. Now, if you wanted even more power, you could step up to the SQ8 and or RSQ8, which both have twin turbocharged V8s. So if you want that extra power, you could certainly go with one of those vehicles. And we'll definitely get a test, an acceleration test on this 3-liter V6 to see if it's enough power for this pretty large vehicle. Opening the standard powered lift gate, we have tons and tons of space in the cargo area of the Q8, and that is in typical fashion. Now this is again based on the Q7, just kind of like a fastback shape with 2 rows of seating instead of 3, so that gives you tons and tons of space. And even if you needed more space, you could fold these seats down at a 40-20-40 split, so that's pretty cool. And you have a little pass through in the middle. You have a cargo shade, LED interior lighting, also some net pockets up here and down there, cargo tie downs all the way around, and if you lift up this floor, you have our spare tire. Once you're done with the trunk, you have 2 options: one to close and lock the vehicle, and one to simply just close. Alright, our first glance at the interior is going to be with the rear seats. Now I have powered the vehicle on so we could see a couple of features back here, and one of those is the powered window shades. Very nice to see that even on a vehicle with kind of frameless windows like that. So you really only see frameless windows on coupes, like 2-door coupes and convertibles, but this Q8 has it. Now, as far as features and materials back here, very nice use of materials, all soft touch all the way up here, and soft touch down here too. A large door pocket here. We even have a little bit of a storage area that's removable, so I guess you could use it as a little garbage pail there too. Now we have some nice glossy wood trim with our electronic door handles, so take a listen. So you really only need to pull them a little bit and the door will be electronically released. As you can see, we have 2 window controls for the rear to control both rear windows back here, so that's pretty cool. We also have the Bang & Olufsen speakers on this vehicle, which is very nice. We have the panoramic roof, of course, and a bench seat configuration back here. Now, as you can see, this seat here is kind of in a forwards position, and that seat there is reclined a little bit, so you can recline these rear seats ever so slightly. And the way you fold them down is this little button right here, so you could pull that tab and they will click into place and fold flat with the cargo floor, so that's pretty nice. Now you can pop down the center pass-through with this little button right up here next to the headrest. That way you can put you know, longer things through the cabin if you need, and also have 2 seating positions back here. And one more thing you could fold down is the armrest. So that acts as an armrest and a cup holder, so that's pretty nice. The materials for the seat are pretty nice too. Not the highest grade of leather you can get on a Q8. I mean, you can definitely get some nicer grade leather, but this is just fine. You have some contrast stitching and also some perforations in the seat there. So obviously the Q8 is going to have plethora of space back here, but I'll hop in just to show you guys around a little bit. Now, I am 5'10" and I adjusted this front seat to a normal driving position for myself. And take a look, plenty of room, no surprise there. We have map pockets on both of the rear seats, and climate vents pretty much everywhere too. So we have climate vents even on the kind of B pillars here, which is nice for a warm day like today, and some more on the back of the center console. Now you essentially have your own climate control in the back seats, which makes this car have a 4-zone climate control. So you can even get really into it, not only changing your temperatures, but also your fan speeds and where the air comes out. So you have kind of a bunch of different adjustments to really get comfy back here. Not to mention you have heated seats, and it is an automatic climate control back here too. Now just below the climate control, you have 2 USB-C chargers and a 12-volt. Pretty small drivetrain hump back here, so you could definitely fit 3 people across pretty comfy. And it's a spacious place to be back here, and there's definitely plenty of amenities with LED lights, grab handles, and all kinds of goodies to play around with back here. All right, let's check out the driver's door again. As you can notice, frameless glass, and take a look at the size of the glass. It is actually 2 panes of glass with an acoustic material in the center to make this an unbelievably quiet ride, and you will see that on our test drive video, so don't forget to check that out. Now, as you can see, one thing I wanted to point out on our mirrors is the little blind spot warning. So that black square there will act as your blind spot warning, and that will turn yellow if somebody's in your blind spot. Pretty cool position for that. We have more wood trim, bright work, lock-on-lock buttons here, and 2-person memory for the driver's side. And on the bottom here, we have all of our mirror adjustments for heating, adjusting the glass itself, and power folding. All of our window adjustments and our power child locks. Nice bit of contrast stitching, an ability to release your trunk, and a nice large storage area. Now down here we have a pretty cool looking stainless steel S badge for your sills, and up on the left of the dash we have a air vent, all of our lighting controls, so we have our normal headlight stuff there, and your kind of all-weather or fog lights. Down here on the side we have some wood trim, a bit of storage that goes in pretty deep, so you can put a lot of stuff in there. And we also have our tilt telescoping toggle right there, and it is powered. Our pedals look pretty normal. We have our hood release over here and some pretty nice all-weather mats. And our driver's seat is of course fully powered with 4-way lumbar, and the headrests are also pretty adjustable too. What do you say we hop in and check out all the technology? Alrighty, so here's the key fob for the Q8. Nice skinny design that Audi's been starting to use here. We have the lock, unlock, trunk release, the little Audi rings, panic alarm at the back, and a little button there to release a physical key in case you need it. And they also give you a nice little storage place to put your key securely. We have, of course, have the push button start right down next to the shifter. And that will power everything on. Now this is a mild hybrid, again, like I said earlier. Now sometimes you actually won't hear like the turning of a starter. You'll just hear the kind of electric assist turning the engine over. So it's a little bit different, but pretty cool. Now, as far as the steering wheel goes, it is all leather wrap with some contrast stitching on the inside. It's also heated, and I'll show you the control for that in just a minute here. All of these buttons right here will adjust the virtual cockpit, which we will get into in just a minute. And all of these have to do with media, so your phone, voice commands, audio volume, and the back and forth for different radio stations. And you also have a programmable button, so you can go into the screen and adjust what you want that button to do. Now, behind the steering wheel, mounted to the steering wheel itself, are some paddle shifters. And you also have a couple of stalks attached to the steering column. Now, this one is, of course, your turn signals, automatic high beams, as well as the lane centering assist. So the little button at the end will allow you to quickly toggle that on and off, as well as this one for your adaptive cruise control. And the other stalk is for your front and rear wipers. Now, there are a couple of adjustments on the interior for this updated Q8. More programming for this screen and that screen more than anything. But let's get into the basic features of the virtual cockpit. So again, we're going to use all of these buttons to adjust what we see here. So this will kind of essentially be your main screen, and you can press that little view button anytime you like, and the information in the center will get a little bit larger. But if we're just looking at it like this, we have our coolant temperature off to this side, our tachometer, speedometer, and your fuel gauge with the distance to empty up top, and a couple of shortcuts, a little bit of information. And this center display here is adjustable. So if we're on this kind of informational display, we expand, we can scroll down to see average and real-time consumption, short and long-term memory, so like trip A, trip B, and an energy consumption screen. And then we also have a driver fatigue estimation there. So if we're driving a while, it'll kind of tell you, hey, it's time to stop at a rest stop, take a rest from driving for a little bit. If we switch over, this is the new part to the virtual cockpit. Essentially, this is a driver's information display, and we'll keep that display up during our test drives so you can see what it looks like. But basically, it'll show you your lane keeping assist and all that good stuff that comes up. Next one over is our audio. So if we select a radio station, it looks pretty cool. And if we move over, we have a phone screen, and of course, our famous full screen maps right in front of you. So pretty cool. And you can also zoom in and out with the little toggle control. Again, at any screen, one of those, you can press the view button, and what you see in the center will be a little bit smaller. So that is just our basic overview of the center screen, or the virtual cockpit. Up top, we have a nice soft to the touch dash, and if we get the Prestige trim level, you will get a heads-up display, a nice center channel speaker, and a couple of pretty well hidden air vents that go kind of all the way across. And that brings us down to our main MMI screen. And now there is a couple of new features on this screen too, mainly to do with a couple of home screens. So you now have a search, so you can kind of type in here, and this bottom screen will turn into your keyboard, much like for the navigation, and you could search for a particular app or something that you're looking for. And then we also have a new home screen. So shortcuts over here, what's playing on your radio, you have Amazon Alexa built in, and some more shortcuts over here. Now you can also swipe from the top to get various shortcuts too, so we could quickly get to our sound settings, Wi-Fi, different users, and any notifications that pop up. And you'll have shortcuts to this side too. Now if we tap on the radio screen, I'll kind of go through a couple of the different menus here just so you see what they look like. If we click on a radio station, it looks very nice. We have the source selection up top there. We have our media buttons there, phone screen, as well as your navigation. It's a nice big map, very similar to the one that you can see on the virtual cockpit. And we can search right here again. That bottom screen will turn into your keypad, or you can use the voice commands to enter a destination. Over here we have our phone apps, which has to do with the wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. We also have our vehicle screen, which is pretty cool, a bunch of different information there. We have our drive mode select, which we have a bunch of different driving modes to choose from, as well as one that you can customize. That's pretty neat. We also have a couple of things like an efficiency assist screen right there. Some seat adjustments, so kind of temperature balance for the heated and cooled seats. That'll go for both the driver and passenger. Lighting and visibility screen, so this car has a pretty cool ambient lighting system at night, so we can kind of adjust all of the different colors and brightness for that. So we have kind of preset colors, and you could choose 2 different colors at once, or kind of just choose a custom color too. So lots and lots of different adjustments there for the ambient lighting. We have our parking aid screen, a couple of adjustments there. Driver's assistance, you can turn on and off the features, and there's also a couple of presets, so maximum and basic, and then you could go in individual, kind of like a driving mode, and adjust what driver's assistance features you want on and off. Moving over, we have some settings and service, and also some favorites. We can also go to a store to purchase different apps, different themes. We have Amazon Alexa. All of your system settings are in here too, as well as your sound adjustment and all that good stuff. Lots, very, very customizable. Bang & Olufsen sound system here. Sounds really, really great. Displays and brightness, so we don't actually have a physical brightness adjustment, so we have to go through the screen. And then we have all of our general settings there too. A couple of other apps like help, and you can set up different users, messages, news, weather, and all that good stuff in there too. So a couple of different updates to this MMI screen, but basically the interior layout is very, very, very similar to the pre-facelifted Q8. Now let's make our way down here to where we can see this is mostly a climate control screen here. A couple of shortcuts up top that are not related to climate control, such as your auto start stop, hill descent, customization, your garage door openers, and turning the upper screen off. So that's really it. Besides, the rest are kind of climate control. So we have, again, the 4-zone climate control in this car. We have the 2 temperatures up here, which we can adjust by sliding or just simply tapping the plus and minus. You can press the seat right there to adjust your heated seats, cooled seats, but don't worry, there is shortcuts for that right here. So we have heated and cooled seats for either side down below. We can adjust where the air blows, the fan speed in the center here, and that's pretty much it. And then we can also just tap the auto button right here to kind of get the temperature to where you want automatically. You don't have to fuss around with any of the climate controls. Now, a couple of things here, basically just AC settings and also your seat temperatures. Now, if we press the little 3 dots there, we have a couple of more controls. So we have the heated steering wheel, rear climate adjustment, and then a couple of other things too. Just below this array of buttons here are some physical buttons. So we have the drive mode select, which we saw before, so a shortcut for that. We can also turn on and off your traction control, your hazards, and the front and rear defrost. Another array of buttons just below this one for your engine start stop. We can also display all of our cameras. Very advanced camera system in this vehicle. So if you press that button, it'll activate your parking sensors and all of your camera systems. So lots and lots of different camera views. We're going to skip right to the best camera view, which is 3D. So take a look at that. We can go all the way around the car and get a 3D view of your surroundings. Now, it doesn't just stop there. We can kind of have some presets for the 3D, and if we turn off the 3D, we have a bunch of different views. So we have a wide-angle front view, a regular front view, a top-down view, rear, wide-angle rear, front wheels, and the rear wheels, in addition to the top-down view over here. So that's pretty cool. A couple of adjustments, too, for the camera and sounds. So very advanced camera system in this car. Now that we took a look at the cameras, we also have a couple of other buttons down here too. So we have the driver's assistance, which you could pull that up right here, which you saw a little bit earlier in the settings menu. And we also have our volume knob and change between the different presets. Now, of course, we have our gear shifter here, which is electronic. We have a little button to the side, and if we press that in and push down, it'll take us into drive. Now that we're in drive, we have a couple of different settings. We could bump it down once more to put the transmission into a sport mode. And we can also bump it over to put the transmission into manual mode. So that's pretty cool. If we bump it over, press the little button again and way up, that'll put us into reverse, which will activate our reversing camera and top-down view. And to put it into park, we just press the little P button right here. We have the electronic parking brake, a couple of cup holders, and a very nice looking 12-volt power outlet. Inside the center console, you can actually adjust the height of it, and once you lift it up, you have 2 USB-C connections and a wireless charging pad. Passenger area is very nice to look at with this big chunk of glossy black, some wood down below, and this little strip right here is all ambient lighting at night. The glove box is lockable and very sizable. We have felt on the inside and even a pen holder. Full black headliner for this car, and our visors have card holders, lights, and mirrors. Taking a look at our upper stack, we have our LED lights. We also have some more lighting controls, informational buttons, and SOS. And we have 2 separate buttons for one, the sunshade, and the sunroof. So the sunroof itself will open and you could tilt or slide it back. So let's take a look at that panoramic roof when it's nice and open. So very dark interior on this particular car, and with this cover open, it definitely lightens it up a little bit. And one last thing I wanted to talk about is our rear view mirror, because it is auto dimming and it also has a compass. And that pretty much does it for this features review on the 2024 Audi Q8 Again, by now, there should be a little link popping up right over here to view our test drive video. So make sure you stick around for that, and also stick around for future videos here on Ty Drives. Thank you for watching.